Hello, welcome back to the Good, Bad and Stupid News. It's Monday the 2nd of September. Nearly said August then. Nearly gave us an extra month off for those who have been enjoying their summer holidays. Unfortunately, it's the end of summer. Don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but back to work, back to school. Everybody's got to get back to the grind. But well, apparently don't feel too bad about it because there's a heat wave on the way. So I'm told. It's just what I read, but it's good because it's up and down like a yo-yo at the moment, isn't it? So hopefully get more hot weather, get down to the beach, enjoy whatever's left of the last few days if you've got any more time off. Brighton Beach, there's people who've just headed straight down to the beach. The circus came to town, not quite the circus that you'd think, but in the form of the travelling community have landed on the Hove Lawns on Brighton Beach, basically just installing themselves as an attraction or something, I thought, because they've just come along with tons of caravans. And somebody suggested that, I remember seeing it on Facebook, and somebody suggested that they thought, because someone said, what's going on Hove Lawns today? Because they have lots of festivals or food festivals and things like this on there, and people were like, "Oh, I didn't know anything was on this week." And someone was saying, "Oh, is it a caravan show?" There's got some, someone said, "No, I think it's a load of travellers." Goes, "It can't be travellers. They've got some top end sort of caravans in that there. They're not normally driving those kind of Winnebago type caravans." Anyway, so there's this big kind of confusion as to what was going on. But while that confusion was going on, it was actually travellers making their, or just landing basically, and making the place their home for the next week or two. So they've rocked up for the summer, literally doing as they please, and they've just landed on this kind of listed area and just decided, right, that's us for the next few weeks or months. So and I can imagine people's faces, because that's a place where lots of people walk up and down and enjoy a summer, a stroll along the beach or whatever with the kids and families and whatever. All of a sudden you've got this kind of circus turned up on the doorstep. So I don't know how long they're going to take to get rid of that. The funny thing is, if I was to do that, just drive my car onto the grass and just rock up and do as I please, I'd be carted off, wouldn't I? I'd be like arrested and everything. So the police don't know how to deal with that situation, do they? So I'm not going down there in case I get into any kind of trouble with their kids. Their kids are scary, aren't they? The kids just roll around like they own the place and sort of start kicking off left, right, and centre. And then if you say anything back to them, you end up getting all kinds of trouble with the adults who come and sort of sort it out for them. And you end up coming off a little bit worse for wear, I imagine. So that's a shame. If anybody did have any plans for the Hove Lawns this weekend or this week, I think you better change them and go somewhere else. So that's what's happening down near me. What else have we got going on? The alcoholic water has made a splash in the United States. Americans have been getting drunk on water for some time, and apparently that craze is coming over here. Don't know whether don't think I'd enjoy drinking alcoholic water very much. I mean, is that meant to be a healthy version of sort of getting pissed? I mean, water is not really that. The only time water tastes nice is when you're fucking starved of it for, like, when you're gasping for water. Maybe you just walked across a desert or something, and if you got taste of water, then it would taste like champagne. I'm pretty certain, the best champagne. But drinking water generally don't taste of anything, does it? So some of these waters have got no flavour, just water with alcohol in them. So you're not really going to enjoy that. That's for like health conscious. That's either for the pisshead at the gym who's trying to hide the fact that they're on the treadmill and then fucking necking a gin and tonic as they're in the form of a bottle of water, or it's for somebody who, you know, who orders the mineral water at the restaurant, but actually they're secretly getting pissed while they're at a business meeting or something like that, isn't it? That's where it would work. But apparently there's fruit flavoured ones and whatever else, but I don't really see the draw of that, to be honest. I'm not sure I'm going to be getting pissed on water anytime soon. Worse is if you are pissed and then you come in and do your obligatory 2 pints of water before going to bed so that you don't wake up with a hangover, and accidentally drink a 2 litre bottle of fucking alcoholic water or something. You don't know, you might be at somebody else's house. Imagine that, you're necking and 2 litre, so just you're doubling up your alcohol, so you're going to wake up with a hangover from fucking hell if you do that. So be careful out there now, because you can't even drink water without getting pissed. So but don't worry, this guy has been, he probably would want to drink after this situation. A trainee pilot on his first flying lesson had to make an emergency landing on his own after his instructor collapsed unconscious. Now that is, I bet he just fucking thought, what the hell is going on there? Max Sylvester called air traffic control when his teacher fell ill during the flight. And I'm not laughing, it's during a 2-seater Cessna 152. Imagine the situation, you're like on your very first flying lesson. That is like a baptism of fire, isn't it? He's literally fucking been given the reins and just said, well, do or die, isn't it? So he's had to phone the air traffic controller and get instructions from them. He's leaning on my shoulder. I'm trying to keep him up, but he keeps falling down. He's heard telling the controller. Is it in Australia, this? After several passes, Mr. Sylvester managed to land the plane safely. At, well, fucking hell, I'll tell you what, he would have gone straight to, he would have bypassed all the water, straight to the fucking bottle of spirits, and he'd have necked the whole lot, I'd imagine, after that. But that is like amazing. He should get fucking, he's got a book and everything there. He's like landed his very first flying lesson, so good for him. Well done, Mr. Sylvester. I don't think you'll probably be flying ever again after that, but either that or it's made you a fucking, you know, top pilot. You're born to do it, aren't you? You kind of like natural skills. I imagine if I was on my first flying lesson, I'd be fucking hitting the ground like a fucking sack of bricks. So yeah, anyway, good, he survived. An admin worker excuse me, an admin worker was appalled after. I understand sometimes when they make these references why the admin worker part is not even any relevant to the story, but we'll roll with it. An admin worker was appalled after a Starbucks barista wrote Hippo on her order instead of her name. First when I read that I thought, well, maybe, what's her name? Does it sound a bit like Hippo? No, her name's Nadia Khan. So they kind of, and I thought then, was it the drink she ordered? She ordered a Frappuccino. Is that the, could have just said it was my nickname for a Frappuccino, a Hippo. No, doesn't work. So they basically just wrote Hippo on her drink, and that's obviously good, because you get your drink, don't you, and you get the name straight away. So it's obviously, it's almost like it's an instant comeback, isn't it? It's not like you've walked off and then you're going to find it later. You're literally getting the name straight away. So I was just stood there having a fucking slanging match after that. When she had handed her drink, she found that the cup, which usually has the person's name written on the side, with Hippo scrawled on it as well. So doesn't say anything about why Hippo or anything else, but I think the guy got the sack for that. Maybe he wanted the sack. That was his way of fucking rubbing somebody's nose up the wrong way at work. Unfortunately, he's dragged somebody else into it. It's probably been, what's the word? Body shamed or something or other, so it's a bit shame really. He shouldn't really sort of mock people if that's what he did. A fraudster pocketed £62,000, claiming that her hands were shook so much that she was housebound, but she actually had 3 jobs. Mum of 8, Andrea Blackburn, named and shaved, secretly worked at Greggs Bakers, Tesco's, Sainsbury's. She claimed she was agoraphobic, suffered with nerves, used crutches, and struggled to hold things. And she needed help changing clothes, eating, drinking, going to the toilet, showering, and moving around the house. I'm not surprised if she's got 3 jobs. She's probably fucking knackered from doing all that. She doesn't realise. But she's obviously not agoraphobic because she's fucking out more than anybody else. But at the same time, she's got 3 jobs. She's like gift of the gab. She's blagged that left, right and centre. There must be a job out there that somebody's probably thinking, she's perfect for us. She's like hard worker, 3 jobs. She's the opposite of what she was saying. She's a hard worker. She's holding down 3 jobs and she's scamming the bloody benefit system. I mean, that all takes time. So there's probably like a job in politics for you somewhere there, Andrea. So don't let it get you down. You know, you've shown you're a high flyer, so you're doing it the wrong way about it. But you know, you're driven. You don't have to. You know, you got the scamming the benefits. You didn't have to work at Greggs and all that, did she? So you know, she's got skills. She's got some sellable skills there. So anybody's looking for Andrea, a hard worker, Andrea, I forgot her name now. Moving on. Don't know where she lives. Look out for her. Find her in the paper. The Yorkshire Ripper. I don't know why I picked this one out. Yorkshire Ripper wants to have a child with his cheerleader pen pal, 46 years his junior. I think that's why I pulled it out, because I just couldn't believe that he's got anybody. Has anybody female? And he's actually saying then he has had to ask his ex-wife for permission to have the baby. So she's obviously up for it. I'm just surprised that people are even any kind of contact with him. But he's like been married, obviously not even any kind of marriage where you're actually hanging around with him or anything, because he's Nick, isn't he? But I can't believe that he's actually got somebody 46 years his junior. She's obviously off the wall. I think the police want to fucking have the radar on her, don't they? Because if she's knocking about with a serial killer, or she's like, some people just bar me, ain't they? They've got this like infatuation with serial killers. So I wonder if her family is sort of distancing herself from her, because I'm sure it don't. Well, she's in the paper. There's a picture of her. She's in the paper, so I'm going to put her up in case he comes back on me. Might come looking for me, but yeah. So there you go. There's balmy people in the world all around you, right into serial killers. What's this? There. Well, it's not. I was going to say, speaking of serial killers, it's not really a serial killer. Whacking. What's he say his name? The Joker, the new film that's coming out. Whacking. Phoenix plays the Joker in the new film, The Joker, and they said he always had his work cut out of him, following Heath Ledger as the Joker, but it seems he's pulled off what was deemed to be the impossible, and critics are raving about his portrayal of the Joker. So that's another film that I'm actually really, I'm not really that bothered about a lot of films, but the new Tarantino film I said I was going to see, I haven't. Might do, but this I want to see more than anything, because I can always relate to the. It's funny that the Joker there can relate to that picture. See that picture? That's him there. Always feel that way sometimes. You know, funny but insane. You know, ever have those days? Did the Joker? You're kind of like, you know, trying to put on a funny face, but fucking world's getting you, twisting your head up on a daily basis, and you have to find the humour in it. Hence what we're doing here. But no, looking forward to seeing that film, because it's kind of my favourite character, I think. I liked it when Jack Nicholson did it. Well, Jack Nicholson's one of my favourite actors, but I liked it when he did it. But I love the Joker in the old 60s Batman films. I think I just love the Batman from that time, the 60s one. And they're all spandex and everything, and the fucking... And apparently they just lived the life of Riley, didn't they? But the characters in that have been the best out of all of them, but the Joker's always the one that interests me. I'm trying to think of the right word there, but I'll be here all day trying to think of the words. My vocabulary is slow this morning, so how long we got left? Tiny Panto star Claire says she's fed up with being mocked for being short, wait for it, by fellow dwarfs. The performer, who stands at 3 foot 8 inch tall, is only a tad smaller than most of her counterparts. Well, she's only a tad smaller, but apparently they take the piss out of her for being short, so you think they would... It's like, you know, they probably get that, so you would imagine that they... But it just shows that you can get it in all levels. It's passing its way down. So the dwarfs are often saying how short she is, even for a dwarf. It's a bit ridiculous considering they're only a few inches taller. But it's a competitive world, and people will do anything to get ahead. So they're obviously fucking fighting for the parts in plays and pantos and whatever else. She often gets knocked back because the costumes are too big. Anyway, there she is there. Oh, you can't really see, I've cut her head off. Never mind, she's even shorter. Sorry about that, Tina. Tiny? No, Claire. Tiny is the storyline. But further on, she was saying a little bit later on, when I'm being hired, people are looking for a very specific look. She says her height can be an advantage sometimes, and when she's getting hired privately, she can, because people are looking for a specific look. I think I've had a lot of luck with stag do's because they like small people, and she often finds the revellers are most well behaved towards her. She said the lads I'm with are often respectful because they feel they need to protect you. I mean, yeah, she could make money that way, but who the fuck is hiring? Why would, if you're having a stag do, what need of you to have like a dwarf or a small person? What do they do with it? What do they have? What do they just have? You just walk around with them, or what? It's kind of like an odd thing to order for a stag do, isn't it? All right, Dave, we've got you a special gift for your stag do. Look, this is Claire, and Claire rolls along, and then what? You just sort of take her around the pubs and that with her. It seems a bit of an odd situation, but if she's making money out of it, good. But I can't imagine, they're probably like getting turned away from bars and everything, having to explain, no, it's not my kid. It's she has to prove her ID and stuff like that. So I'd imagine that's a bit of a fucking headache, really. Probably having to look after her the whole time. So yeah, strange. Not on my stag do. Thank you very much. Where are we going to go here? Joe Wood, who is Ronnie Wood's ex-wife, would love to meet an alien. She thinks that she might even come from another planet. Well, with this story, you're probably sounding like that you are. The 64-year-old is convinced she has spotted UFOs a number of times over the years and would enjoy a quick meeting with an ET. She said, I would love to meet an alien. Lots of abductees suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, but I don't think I would be scared. Sometimes I think, wouldn't it be nice if they were zapping me up for a quick meeting? And she feels like maybe her ancestors or part of her DNA might have come from a different planet. So make your own mind up about that. But no, I don't think that's too wacky. It would be quite cool to meet an alien. I don't think I'd be wanting to be zapped up to a spaceship or anything, but I think it'd be pretty cool to see him come down and fucking, you know, a craft to come down and sort of, so nobody could deny it. where it's just blatant in the middle of the day, just come and land over, I don't know, over the town centre or something or other. It'd be good to meet it that way, but I don't think I'd want to be zapped up where I'm alone with the aliens at the mercy of whoever's on the ship. It probably feels like Claire does on the stag do, you know, the odd one out on a fucking bunch of pissed up stag party. Can't imagine that's much fun. But I don't know. Maybe it's a party on the spaceship. Who knows? We'll never know. A few people have said that they've been up there, but I think we need a bit more proof before we're going to buy into that one. A pizza topped with sausages, chips, and mushy peas is going down a storm with clubbers. The 16-inch treat contains 2,000 calories and comes with curry sauce. He's literally just fucking piled everything he's got in his chip shop onto a pizza, and this is selling like hotcakes at 4 AM in the morning, so no surprise. It's the stag do's again, isn't it? They're coming in like going, oh, what can I have? Can't make the mind up, and the bloke's like, oh, fuck it, just have it all. There you go. It's a pizza, it's chips, it's fish, it's pie, it's everything all on fucking one. Sausages, mushy peas. It sounds disgusting, but at the same time, when you're pissed, it probably sounds like fucking heaven, doesn't it? So yeah, that's in Manchester if you fancy that. Otherwise, you can get that anywhere. You just have to order everything and just mush it all together, and you've got it. Craig David has forgiven Joker Lee Francis for the Bo Selector show, which poked fun at him. Craig appeared with a huge chin, a drawn-on beard, and big headphones, uttering catchphrases such as "proper read Bo." That was funny, that wasn't it? That used to crack me up that day, I've got to say, but he proper got it on that show. Messed him up, didn't he? I've spoken about this before, I think. Messed up his career and everything, and he had to do one to Miami, didn't he? But anyway, he's come a full circle because he made it big over there. He's come back and he's fucking riding on the waves of success now. So he's doing all right. But at the time, he probably thought, fucking hell, he's probably like his bag of clothes, like David Banner, having to do one to America, get away from, because he'd become a stereotype, didn't he? Everyone was doing it. Everyone was all like fucking repeating it and everything at work and stuff, because it was so funny, such a funny character. It must have been hard mentally to deal with that, you know. But it's a good job he was a millionaire when he had to go off and do it. If he'd gone off with no money, but just starting out, he'd have been screwed, wouldn't he? So anyway, fewer than half of middle-aged drinkers have tried to cut back on their alcohol intake, despite many thinking it would improve their health. Well, no, because they're enjoying their money now, aren't they? They're getting to middle age. They're enjoying getting out of the house, getting pissed. They won't be drinking fizzy water to get pissed. They'll be enjoying their pint down the pub every night. Why would they? It's a silly thing that fewer than half of middle-aged drinkers have tried to cut back. Well, they'll wait until they have a health scare, won't they? But and then they can move on to the fizzy water and pretend that they're doing something and behaving themselves. What else we got here? A chair that featured on the cover of legendary Oasis album Definitely Maybe is up for sale for £12,500. Wow, that's crazy. And all the props, it's good if you imagine all these props that turn up in sort of early days of music videos and that, because that was relatively unknown then. So anytime you ever get near anything like that, fucking grab something. This is why people grab, well, all the stars years ago, they used to be able to not walk through the crowd without them pulling their hair and fucking ripping bits off them and that, didn't they? Because they're knowing, these savvy fans, didn't they? They're knowing like 50, fucking 60, 70 years time, or less than that even, they're going to be worth a fortune. People sell now, don't they, Elvis's hair and stuff like that in a little vial and whatever, and they have to get it DNA tested and whatever. And somebody was on Antique Roadshow yesterday with a picture that John Lennon had scribbled on a board when for a cameraman when they were doing a film of something or other, he just scribbled this scribble of his face, and Yoko Ono's face signed it, she signed it, and they just valued it £30,000. So, you know, so if you want to make some money in the future, when you see your next famous person, you need to rip a bit of their clothes off or a bit of their hair out or something or other. So I wonder who's going to be the next one to suffer that on the back of me saying that. Probably nobody really, because nobody really watches these videos. So a man has fell 20 foot from rocks into water after trying to get a picture of a castle. The alarm was raised at 10 o'clock yesterday. He and his partner pulled over to take some photographs, and he fell off the rocks and landed in the loch below. Luckily, he survived. His partner had to fucking do a marathon sprint to get the lifeboat people, and they had to come and save him. So stupid thing to do, but I bet you I pulled that out because I bet you that was a pretty good photo anyway, wasn't it? Imagine what the photo would be like, the face of him falling. Probably like what's the photo award? You need to send that one into some fucking photograph award or something over there, because you'd never catch that any other way, that look on your face, I imagine. Right, going to finish up on two more. A mum who pinched a policeman's bottom has appeared in court to admit a charge of sexual assault. Well, I mean, come on. The officer warned her about the behaviour, saying that assault, I could nick you for that. That's assault, I could nick you for that, but he obviously did nick her. She pinched his backside, and she's getting done for sexual assault. It's not really sexual, well, it is a sexual assault. I suppose she might have been persistent and being a pain in the arse, because he's obviously warned her and she carried on and he nicked her. But I was going to say, if it was just one pinch of the arse, he should have just like laughed it off, really. And it's like fucking dragging somebody through the courts and all that. Should just give her a fine. And you got like a pinch your arse fine, but it's not really. It is sexual assault, but it's not worth the fucking hassle, is it? Really, you know. I know people are going to go, oh, one way or the other, you know. It's a woman doing it to a man and whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's a lot of hassle for. She pinched his ass, and she's just got one of those like ASBO or a fine on the spot, and be sort of told off, if you like. But anyway, in my opinion, I'm entitled to it. Going to finish up on this last one. Speaking of the police, a man rang 999 in Barnstable, Devon, haven't give his name, and asked the police, can I have a bacon sandwich please, 2 fried eggs and a slushy. That was his 999 call, and an officer described the call as inappropriate. You don't say. I wonder whether he was like pissed or having a laugh, because if he's pissed, he's probably still waiting for his bacon sandwich, 2 fried eggs and a slushy. But sounds to me like he's having a laugh at their expense. So yeah, there you go. That's all we've got time for. He wants to get down to that place that sells the pizzas with the mushy peas and that. He can pour a slushy on the top of that. Probably doesn't go down. Probably wouldn't be frowned upon at that venue. So anyway, that's all we've got time for today. So look forward to doing another one tomorrow. Going to see you then. See you later. Bye.